Hey, Dr. Tom Hanson here with a quick overview of the Play Big Football Profile. You can think of it as a mental game combine, a physical, normal combine. You measure what a guy can do physically. This measures a guy's inner ability, his mental talent, his and so we can grade him out, as I'll show you in just a moment. Let me first, though, give you a little bit of context for it. The first law of performance is how a player performs correlates with how a situation occurs to him. So he can have all the talent in the world, but if it occurs to him as stressful, then his talent's not going to show up. He's going to choke, he's going to panic, and it doesn't matter how fast he runs. He's 2 steps behind. He's going to need that speed just to catch up because he made a mistake in terms of what he was paying attention to and what he was even able to pay attention to. So how does it occur to, is it fun? Is this fun? And so he's freed up? Or is this a threat to him? Is he feel threatened? And then we get Ken the fight or flight and he'll choke. So what that boils down to here is that there's 2 worlds of football. There's an outer game, and that's what we see. Everyone sees the same thing basically there in terms, well, that's not true. Everyone sees an outside game. There's X's and O's, and there's John, and there's the strategy. All these things are outside, and you can see it. And the question here is, hey, this guy we want to draft, can he see and understand what it takes to win in football? Does he get it? Surely you can think of a guy right now who really gets it. He might not be the best physical spec, but he can see things, and he's a half a step ahead of this guy because he sees it better. That's what we're talking about with the game view. The self view is each player has his own inner reality. Remember from the previous slide there. And the question is, hey, does this guy have access to his talent? Will his tools play? So again, he's fast, but will he be out there choking his brains out and missing his reads, or can will his tools play? He grades out at X. Will X show up on the field or not? So let's take a look at a real guy. This guy will get drafted this year. Very good player, and he grades out. I can tell you right away, boom, you can just look at this top bar and say, okay, well, this guy gets it, because a 0.7 and better is what we're looking for, and a 0.88, 0.87. This guy's got a lot of mental game talent, so he's worth continuing to look at. This is the game view, the outside view. And by the way, he took a 15-minute, there's 15-minute task where you rank order things from best to worst. So you're forced in the task to say, well, this is better than this. And the items are quite different. It can be it's a difficult choice. But carrying 2 different things. But as he chooses, he reveals his value structure and what we pay attention to. What we value, we pay attention to. So what is this guy paying attention to? Is he paying attention to the right things at the right times? So understanding what it takes to win. This is his summary of that outer game. Yeah, 8.2, excellent. This guy gets it. Jumping down here to motivation to do what win is like, does he have access to his talent? 7.3, yes. Could be higher, yes, but we want to see a 7 or better, and we'll take a look at him in just a moment as to what's going on. Emotional game control, he's going to look like he's in control pretty well. And he actually will be in pretty good control, is what we see what's going on inside him down here. Is he going to be a good teammate? Yes, he's got the talent to be a good teammate. These other ones, overvalued, or neutral, are telling you how he's using his ability. This and this are called clarity scores. This dimension is in the team or feeling dimension. Can he see and understand the unique value of teammates and coaches? And also, does he see and understand the unique value of each play? Does he see the intrinsic special value that this play has never happened before and it will never happen again? Does he get that? Yes, he does. Even more so, he gets the X's and O's. This is like, does he understand the X's and O's and his position? 8.6, that's a lot of talent. And the more clarity he has here, the easier he can manipulate these things, which I won't go into it at great depth right now. Maybe on this one I will. This one is understanding the big picture, the game, the strategy, the rules, the structure. 8.3, he gets football. He understands the big picture of it. Does he get that the guy next to him is John and he's a unique and special person? Can he form a bond with that guy? Does he get the big picture of football strategy? Does he get what he should be doing on this play? So That's how those vary. And so he's at 8.3. Overvalued in this, just as a quick example, I mean, he's like overvalues authority. So you want to watch it with this guy because he's going to really take to heart what the coach says. And that seems great, but it's a lot of Goldilocks with this in that it's like, hey, this one's too hot. I mean, like he cares too much what the coach says. And then if this coach over here says something different, now he's stuck because he so values the coaches. What should I do? He's over coachable. Um, but because this is so high, we can adjust that. If he just knows, if he knows this now, and if the coaches know, it's like, okay, you want to be careful with this guy because, or not be careful, but just know that he overvalues. He's going to be like really wanting to please you. And then there, like with Goldilocks again, if this is undervalued, he doesn't value the coaching he's getting enough. And then neutral would be just right here. So that gives you a quick view. There's more to say. And this breaks down, by the way, as to efficient. He's an efficient player in the outer game. So, and with these are high and they're pretty close to each other. That's what we want, high and balanced. That's how I know, again, this guy gets it. And from an outer game, he gets football. Absolutely a yes in terms of continue on. So obviously I can't grade his physical ability, but you're pretty good at that. And I'm saying, here's what you're getting on the inside. So let's look more into the self view. 7.3, yes, he has access to his talent. 6.8, solid in terms of inner emotional control. His intuitive awareness of self-worth. This means how does he feel about himself, primarily based on his past. He knows he can get better, and he's not really plagued with any big problems right now. Again, I'd love to drill down and saying why I can say that, but here's what you can see. So now his current role and position, 7.2, he feels solid where he is right now. This is sort of a measurement of him, how he sees himself based on his past. Here's his present, and here's his future. And you can see he's very confident in his future, and he's very oriented toward his future. This relationship of this is less than this is less than this grades out as an achiever. He is going to achieve. He's very much about continuous improvement. He's very disciplined. He's going to follow rules, have a moral code. Is this guy going to give you a problem? I would bet not, because of this. And his edge, what I went over with him, what he needs to do better is bring this up, meaning think more of himself. This is the kind of guy, as I was debriefing with, I said, you know what, I bet you're the kind of guy that people say, hey man, great job, you did awesome, I really look up to you, I value you, you're a leader. And he'll push it off. He said, well, you know, the team is really good. He's going to push that off. And that sounds great, but he is going to diffuse that. He's going to deflect that sense of self-worth right out of the league. He needs to feel better about himself and be more, not boastful, but have more pride and satisfaction with himself. Because he says that with this pattern, he's going to think nothing's ever good enough. And again, that sounds great. However, you got to be careful with that, because that will push him and drive him and end up with him playing tight instead of playing free, which is how I would certainly want a guy to play. He's like, oh, I'm never satisfied. Again, wow, that sounds really good, but you want to be satisfied and yet eager for what's coming next. I love what I've done. I know I'm a good player. I belong in the NFL, and I can do even better. That beats, oh, it's never enough. It's never enough. The first guy that's higher here outperforms, certainly in the long run, a guy who's a 6.6 here. So anyway, but that's where the beauty of this is that, well, now I can select based on this tool, use it as a data point, a great data point as to whether I should take a guy, and then also with the guys I have to coach this guy. Because once you lay this out, just a few basic things that I've hit on here, and there's much more. Now he's like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought of that. How would you think of that if you can't go in there and measure it? So that's a quick view of the Play Big football profile. I'd love to answer more questions or tell you more about it, or again, do the trial. Let me send you a link. The guys could be anywhere in the world. They click, it takes them 15, 20 minutes. then I can make a video like this and tell you about them. And you can tell me if you think that I am telling you what's so, um, or not. Be happy to do that.